Hey guys, I hope you're well. It's James Nicholson, and I just charged in my car, so I thought I'd make a very quick video for you guys about should you be investing in property in 2022? It's a question I get asked a lot. So anytime any of my friends see that I'm doing some new projects and investments, one of the first things they say is the housing market is going to crash. You're crazy to buy right now. And that might be either something that you've been told or potentially you're thinking. And so I'm going to cover that in this video here today. But before we jump into this, can you do me a quick favor? This channel is all about holding myself accountable and sharing with you guys my journey where I'm growing my portfolio. But not only that, building a portfolio for my two children, Emily, who's 1, and Georgia, who is 21. You can check out all the videos on here of our most recent purchases and what's going on with those. You'll find those very, very interesting. So do subscribe and hit the bell while you're here. Now, the market, is there ever a good time to buy? Now, one thing that I always find is people's perception of what a crash is, it's not actually what reality is. And if you asked friends or family, or even think about it yourself, 2008, 2009 was the last major crash, and that was due to the financial crisis, and banks basically just stopped lending. A lot of banks went bust as well, and it was a very, very difficult time. Now, what do you think the crash was, actually, as in the percentage wise, that was wiped out in property value in that time? Now, I've asked friends and family, and they all think that it's over 30%, but it was 15% in the UK, right? And that was on an average, right? So 15% crash in the UK. Now, that's obviously not good, but it only becomes a problem if you're looking to sell a property. So my strategy is to buy and hold. I don't ever plan to sell my properties. I want to make sure that my children inherit those properties, and I want to make sure that they're there to pay me an income when I'm retired. And so I don't actually have that concern about a crash, because if it goes down, it will either go down now or it will go down in the future. It's always going to go down at some point anyway, but it always goes back up. So if you're going to be an investor and you're buying a buy-to-let, it's unlikely that you're going to be selling that. Now, some people that are in property might be doing flips. They might need to keep an eye on it, but they should still only be doing a flip where they've got the margin in there that even if there was a crash, they would still be okay. So that's one consideration, is a crash, right? Potentially that could happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the property prices will stop rising as fast as they have been, for sure, but they'll level out for a few years. So there will be some very small growth still, or maybe just a flat year or so, but not a big crash. One of the reasons for that is that banks weren't reckless this time round. Now, before 2008, you could borrow 100% of the value of your house, right? So that meant that if you're buying a 100 grand house, the bank would lend you 100%. And in some rare instances, they would even lend you more than that, 105%, 110%. Now, if you were in the north of England, there are areas still in the north of England where people got 100% mortgage and they're on an interest-only mortgage, and that means that they're not paying back the debt, and so they might be in negative equity still. There's still a possibility of that because the house prices went down 15%. They haven't quite gone up enough in certain areas, but on the whole, most of the UK fully recovered by 2010, right? So 2010 things really got going again. So that's one concern, is our price is going to go down. I'm not worried about that. You shouldn't be too, because when you buy, that's when you look to make your money. So my most recent transaction is a house in Doncaster. I bought it at auction for £60,000. It's worth £100,000, or it will be once we finish the refurb in a couple of weeks. And so, look, the market's got to severely drop then for me to go into negative equity there. And so I'm not concerned at all. Now, the other thing that people are worried about is interest rates going up, right? And rightly so. So if you're on an interest-only mortgage and the interest rate goes up, then of course, if you're not in a fixed deal, your monthly payments are going to go up too. So that's a consideration. However, when you get the deal, the bank will work out if the deal stacks. You're going to have to give a 25% deposit and you can get around that and get that money back by adding value afterwards. But you're going to have to give a 25% deposit, right? And they're going to make sure that the affordability is there. They're going to test that, and banks aren't lending recklessly. They want to make sure that even with interest rates going up, you're still going to get more rent than the mortgage payment. So it's not a big concern of mine, guys. Another thing is, what I want to get people to really focus on is buying properties that you can add value to, right? So what I mean by that is maybe buying, like for example, recently I have a studio flat. I've turned that into a 1-bedroom flat. Very cheap to do, stud walls, and added 50 grand, and that's in Dorking in Surrey. Another property was a 1-bedroom flat, added a 2nd bedroom in there. Very easy, very cheap to do, to put stud walls up and change a few bits around, move a kitchen here or there, and that can add big value. So when you buy a property that you can add value, that is also going to protect you if the market goes down. So that's what I do. I used to buy really nice properties, all in good condition, and I'd focus on that. Now I want to get the properties that are run down so I can add value to them. When I do that, it's irrelevant what's going on in the market. Even if there's a crash, I'll still be able to do that. When you make your money in property is when you buy, right? It's not when you sell, it's when you buy. So you want to make your money. You want to get a good deal before you jump in. So many people have got money in their pocket. They want to get a buy to let, and they just go for a new build house or something like that. Very hard to make money on that. You need to find something that's distressed that you can add value. Either you add an extension, a bedroom, or it just needs refurbishment. That's the sort of deal that you are going to look at. With the interest rate rising, yes, that's going to happen. Of course, rates are going to go up, payments are going to go up. But at the time of you doing the deal, you'll know if the affordability is there. You can fix that rate for 5 years. So it's really irrelevant then, because in that time, when you go in 5 years to do a new rate, yes, the rates might be higher, but rent will be higher as well. So you'll have more affordability. Your house will be worth more. And so I'm not too concerned. And I think that when you want to invest in property, it's too easy to make excuses, right? I meet so many people that want to invest in property. They're waiting for a crash. And then they look back and they say, you know what? I wish I invested sooner. And one of my biggest regrets in my property journey is that I didn't buy more property a long time ago. And I sat on it. I was comfortable, had a decent income from it. I wish I knew then what I know now. And I wish I really aggressively grew that portfolio even faster than I have. And that's what I think you guys should understand. Property is a very forgiving business. If you buy a bad deal, which is not likely if you get trained and educated, but if you did buy a bad deal and it didn't work out for you, time is forgiving in property. So eventually it's going to become a good deal, because prices will rise, rents will rise, the value of the property will rise, or you'll clear off debt if you had a repayment mortgage. Eventually it becomes a good deal. In business, that isn't the case. I am a business coach, and if I spend £10,000 on Facebook ads and it doesn't work, I will never get that money back. And if I run a website and build a lot of stuff in business and it doesn't work out, then I lose money, and that's gone forever. Property's different. Time is a healer in property, and you can be very, very successful. Now, look, I'd love to have a conversation with you about growing a property portfolio and helping out. And so I've made a Facebook community where we can all hang out, ask questions, get involved with people that are learning property and all of that great stuff. So in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link to the Facebook group. Go and join it. Come and join us in that group. We'd love you to be there. Ask any questions you've got, learn some stuff, give value yourselves. Not there to be selling in or anything like that. It's just somewhere so we can all hang out. Now, if you found this video useful, please like the video, comment with any questions you've got. I'll make a video response to all of those. Subscribe to the channel, and do check out this video that's going to come up the end. It's all about how I just bought my most recent property auction. It's actually going to show you inside the auction. That's it from me. I'm James Nicholson. Stay blessed, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye for now.